Well, it's great to have the stability of a veteran guy like Ryan to be coming back and to be with us for the next couple of years. He's a big part of our team, big part of our dressing room and our leadership group, and he helps with bringing the young guys along and teaching them how to be a pro, teaching them all the right things, and kind of trying to instill some of his values on the young guys. So it's a big piece of the puzzle having Ryan coming back, and we know that going forward that the dressing room will be in good hands, leadership-wise.
It's one thing to have a coach try and develop players, and certainly the coaching staff, but another thing as well to have a player like him in the room and kind of give a different angle in terms of developing players here in Bakersfield.
Well, he's got a different experience set than the coaching staff does, and I mean, a lot of times the coaches have certain influence, but the teammates have a totally different influence. They can speak from experience on different things that maybe the coaching staff doesn't have the same impact. So to have a guy like Ryan back that can speak with his experience and show the young guys the way, that's huge for us as a group and for the whole organization to bring the young guys along.
How important was it to get some veteran leadership re-signed quickly?
Well, I think that's huge. I mean, it's important to get that out of the way early, and I think that we're going to be looking at hopefully getting a couple other guys back. I mean, time will tell who's all going to be back. There will be a few changes, but we'll figure all that stuff out. But just from a stability standpoint and some continuity, it's nice to know that we have our captain back going forward.
Is there sort of Ryan being the first domino, but is there now a bit of a time frame at all on some of the other UFAs?
A lot of that stuff, I'll defer to Edmonton because they're the ones that ultimately make those decisions. But we were quite comfortable and happy with the job that our leadership group did, and any of those guys that we can eventually get back will be great. And if other guys decide to go elsewhere and their careers take them elsewhere, then we'll try and fill those voids with other people. But we really don't know right now how everything's going to shake out with everybody else, but we're very happy and content to have Ryan back in the mix going forward.
So if you're in charge, let's just put you in the driver's seat for one
All right, let's try that.
What would be one element that you might say this team needs for next season? And so if going around searching for free agents, is there a particular position or just a type of player you might think we're lacking?
Well, I think, having spent a year in this division, size and grit are two things that are a premium in this division with teams like Ontario, teams like San Diego. They're big teams, they're heavy teams, and they're gritty, they're hard to play against. So I think those are all elements that we would probably be looking for going forward. And I know that Edmonton, they have our best interests in mind with all that, and I think that we'll have a good team going forward. We'll have some good players going forward, and I'm quite confident that they'll put a good product on the ice next year.
Sounds like the same type of player Edmonton's looking for in some ways.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what the American League and the NHL have gone to. Like, you tend to go with the teams that have had success, and other teams try and emulate that. So, teams in the past few years, with LA having success in a few of the last playoffs, and Chicago has some size and skill and grit. Those are the teams that other teams try and emulate. So. We want to have success in this organization, so I anticipate that there will be moves up top and there will be moves down here, and I think that the ultimate goal is that we want to have success organizationally at both the NHL and American League levels.
What does it say about this organization and this setup? This is one of the best places that he's played and one of the most comfortable places that he's played. But what does it say about the setup that an 11-year vet is quick to re-sign and says that, hey, I want to be here for the next couple of years?
That says a lot. I think that the reputation is a big thing. The hockey world's a very small world, and word of mouth travels fast. And when people talk about the setup we have and the fan support we have here and the travel schedule, like you factor everything into the equation, and we have a really good setup here overall. And we're just looking to build off of that next year.